Okay, so when we've talked about a lot about people becoming aware or surveillance conscious, right? So, and I've talked a lot bit about, the concept of doing everything right, rather than claiming it as making mistakes, but it could be looked as making mistakes. Listen, there's PIs that I know that are successful, been around, that like to sit in the front seat, so be it. And you can get away with it. I'm not going to say that you can't. There's lots of situations you can get away with. In fact, you can get away with doing covert video with your personal cell phone. But how long and how many situations and for how long will you get away with it? And is the game and the skill of being an investigator, surveillance investigator, about getting away with things? It's about managing predictable outcomes. And so if you're sitting in the back and you have good tint and you have a good vehicle that's not noticeable, no distinguishing marks, what are the likelihoods of somebody, knocking on your window and asking you to, talk to them? It's almost impossible. It happens very infrequently if all of these things are done. So this illustrates, again, the tint and where you're sitting, predominantly in the back. If you're using a minivan, if you're using a car, there's only going to be 2 seats, front and back, right? And you'll be sitting in the back seat, right? Sitting in the front seat, like you said, I don't know statistically. I would guess maybe 60-70% of the time you get away with it. It's pretty good odds. But if I could tell you almost 100% of the time, if you do this, there'll be no issues. Right? So no issues from the neighbor, no issue from this, no issue from that, no issue from the subject, and you're getting good video. So my perspective is these are things I can control. However, I do relent. There are people out there that don't sit in the back and they're successful in the front. I know that in my career with a lot of files that we come across and that we work on, that if you were sitting in the front, you wouldn't have been successful. So this is what I know. I can't argue with what I don't know, which is the careers and history of others, but I know that I can think of hundreds of cases where if the tint wasn't right, the vehicle wasn't right, and the knowledge about sitting in the back and the approach and the strategy wasn't right, the results wouldn't have been there, and it might have been backfired on them. So it's those any and all circumstances we're trying to prepare for. It's not realistic, but there are a lot of things we can do to be in a better position than, hey, somebody who's more observant than the average person noticed you sitting in your vehicle for the full day and called the cops and everybody knew you were there and that person's done. So, okay, how would you know that their subject has a thought that they're being followed and becomes surveillance conscious? So let's say the subject has a thought or feeling of being followed. This can happen from time to time. We talked about, remember, the wormhole video. So wormhole video references this connectivity to one another that is, hard to see or understand. And again, even if you're buying into this esoteric thought around, okay, you have all this surveillance, you have all the information, you're standing outside of their house, you're literally focused in on this one individual and their family in some cases. Do you think that has an effect on them? And I think that does. I think it, so that in some of the videos we're talking about, there's this exercise of, you ever get that sense that somebody's watching you, right? And we actually did scientific exercises where, okay, the person's looking at you and then they're not, and then you'd raise your hands with your back to them. And statistically, it was quite interestingly in favor of people being aware of them, somebody watching them.
And that video is coming up for you guys on your own time if you want to check it out. It's like 45 minutes, it's a good watch.
Right, so it's a scientific explanation or some sort of data, a science-driven data versus just my opinion of it that I gravitate towards, because my opinion is, when I saw the video, I'm like, yeah, that's what I've been sort of searching for, some sort of better explanation than just my opinion of my own experiences, because it could be just unique to myself. And here you have some empirical data that says, okay, people do have this skill. And so that alone is something to be thoughtful of. What can you do about it? Maybe nothing, other than be more cautious, that risk-reward calculation, right? Okay.